Hi, everyone. I'm Madeline Miller, founder and CEO of NexTiles. At NexTiles, we recycle pre-consumer fabric waste into eco-friendly building insulation. Everyone understands the negative impact that plastic has on our environment, but what a lot of people don't realize is that the world's fabric waste is growing rapidly, and 85% of it is landfilled or incinerated. In 2018, I started a master's program at the University of Miami School for Marine and Atmospheric Science, but with no background in marine science. While conducting research, I was shocked to discover that all of the plastic in the ocean isn't from bottles and containers, and that a large percentage of it is from clothing and textiles. On this journey, I learned that most of my favorite clothing designers and car companies send tons of scrap fabric to landfills. Some of these companies couldn't recycle if they wanted to because there aren't many solutions. NexTiles is the solution. At NexTiles, we prevent fabric waste from entering landfills so that it doesn't end up in our oceans and food systems. We turn this harmful waste into something good, eco-friendly building insulation. Globally, 80% of textiles are doomed for landfill or incineration at the end of life. Once landfilled, natural textiles can take several years to decompose. Synthetic fibers, on the other hand, can take up to 200 years to decompose. During the process, they shed plastic fibers and leak chemicals and dyes into our soil and water. And why is this important? Because the growth of textile waste is already outpacing every other major category of waste, and global consumption is expected to increase 63% by 2030. NexTiles is part of the solution. We pick up waste from local manufacturers and turn it into low-dust, eco-friendly building insulation. Building insulation is the most cost-effective recommendation to help reduce heating and cooling bills and decrease harmful greenhouse gases in buildings. In our case, it is blown into wall cavities, attic floors, and ceilings. This is the type of industrial shredder that's used to convert our collected materials to loose fill insulation. And this is our minimum viable insulation product. It is a shredded cotton and synthetic blend. In the US, the demand for residential building insulation is growing. The main growth driver is stricter building codes that require more insulation per home and home retrofits to combat climate change. In fact, President Biden's clean energy plan specifically includes retrofitting 4 million commercial buildings and weatherizing 2 million homes over 4 years, creating at least 1 million good-paying green jobs. Eventually, the reuse of textiles and other materials will become the norm. If NexTiles captures just 1% of the US green insulation market, that would equate to $10 million annual market. But more importantly, we have the opportunity to change lives by creating local jobs as we clean up our environment. The fact that the Midwest has older housing stock than much of the country and the trend of increased home improvement spending makes the Great Lakes region an ideal area to market blown-in insulation to. For example, in Detroit, 60% of the city's housing stock was built before 1970, making it more than 50 years old, which presents a great opportunity for insulation upgrades. Depending on what a company currently pays to dispose of its waste, we charge up to $2 per pound to pick up from manufacturing centers. This strategy fits nicely with companies' corporate social responsibility models. And for the sale of our eco-friendly insulation, we're targeting a price point of $1.40 per square foot. In 2020, we launched our site, completed several startup accelerator programs, began waste pickup services, and tested our first prototype. This year, we will purchase a small industrial shredder, conduct a pilot manufacturing program, and conduct field performance testing. We will install our insulation into the walls of 10 homes, gather case study research, and launch full manufacturing at the beginning of 2022. We are currently working to finish product development, which includes ASTM testing and conducting a pilot manufacturing run. We'd like to begin using a Michigan-based insulation testing lab, and I ask that anyone with resources for that share. It would also be awesome to have a business mentor. I recognize that great mentorship could be the difference between failure and success. I am incredibly excited about our future. The future of fabric is the circular economy, and at NexTiles, we are driving it. Again, I'm Madeline Miller, and I appreciate your time.